In 2020, we raised love to 5D. Now in 2021, we have learned so much through Christ consciousness. And this is the Christ Consciousness Summit. We're here Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is a live show and highly experimental and full of fun, love, light, and healing. And please know you gotta believe in something. Your time is now and you are so needed. Each speaker will be giving away a prize, so stay tuned. And at the end of the summit on Sunday, I will be gifting a 30-minute Reiki Reveal session and a 3-month intuitive mentorship. We start our Saturday with Lisha Antiqua with Soul Trauma Release. The lovely Laura West spreading the word of love. Ray Kalnan talks about something that's near and dear to my heart, finding your life purpose. Linnea Nordstrom comes back talking about building your altar. The lovely Tabitha Polaris is all about vocal toning your frequency. And the heart of the divine love brought Honeybee and Michael together with us all, and they're going to be talking about being in the great presence. And we end the Saturday with myself talking more about Christ consciousness. Depression and anxiety are a side effect of not living your life intuitively, not trusting your gut, the lost connections with yourself and others. Replays are on Facebook and YouTube. Please like, subscribe, and share. Healing begins where the ego ends. Yes, it helps if my mic is on. Good thing we're testing this. Welcome. We're just doing a quick preview, and as I can see in the video that I need to add a few more guests, just like the lovely Julia Greef. She was with us last month before we had to reschedule, and I'm sure you're wondering, where did it go? I didn't see it. Well, we had to reschedule. There was an emergency in the family, but we're back. And the lovely Julia is going to be with us on Sunday. Did you want to maybe just introduce yourself? Because yourself, Kira, and Georgie and Sonia were not in that intro video, which, yeah, I have to add that. My apologies.
I didn't even notice, so no problem there. But yes, I'll be joining you all on Sunday. At, I think, is it 105 PT? I know the time in my time zone, but I think in PT it's 105. I channel the beings of absolute light, and we're going to be bringing through an attunement to the new earth frequencies. So I'm really looking forward to sharing that with all of you, as well as listening to many of the other shows, and a beautiful lineup, really some phenomenal guests and speakers coming on. So thank you, Christine, for putting together such a beautiful show and a beautiful lineup.
Oh, thank you for all coming back. I think the only person we're missing is Kelly from the original lineup, but we added Michael and Honeybee, and they were actually on the 5D Summit last year. So it's really nice to see the divine feminine and masculine coming together, as a team. So I really looking forward to that. So let us know, you guys, who you're looking forward to. It's free as well. And like I mentioned, every guest is going to give away a gift. And you were talking about the gift that you were going to share with everyone.
Yes, we've actually just re-recorded it, partly because the audio wasn't so good, but also because they wanted to bring it into alignment with the new frequencies that are coming into the planet at this time. So it's an attunement with the divine Christed consciousness frequencies and consciousness, and we just re-recorded it yesterday. So it is infused with those new earth frequencies, and we'll support you in attuning to that. Did you also want to mention something about the other guests who weren't featured in the intro?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course. Kira graciously swapped her time to Sunday, and she's our tree gong healer. And I know you're thinking like tree gong. Well, who doesn't love trees and who doesn't love healing? So she infuses both of those, and she's bringing in water restructuring and heart purification, which is highly unique. And I know that she's doing a retreat next week in Mount Shasta. So she's really bringing in these beautiful grounding energies with us. So you guys don't want to miss that, because every time she comes on, it's amazing. It's transforming. And I mean, of course, the lovely Julia was talking about co-creating with the divine. You might want to follow her. I know she does her weekly, I don't know if it's weekly channeling, but she does share a lot of embodiment, light, expansion. She's a beautiful light worker, and she's been an amazing supporter for myself and for 24 Karat Healing. We really appreciate her. This lovely lady is coming on my podcast on Wednesday on the Power of Healing Your Energy show. And she's also going to be on the show here. And she's talking about healthy relationship awareness. She is a lawyer, but she really works with men and women when it comes down to divorce. And she has come through her spiritual journey on the other side. So she really is wanting to empower people in relationships, which I think is amazing, because usually it's the fight and the I'm going to get this and I'm going to get that. And she's like, no, we need to work together. So I really love that. And Georgie is going to, well, pretty much close out the show. She is new to us, but she's working with the angelic celestial healing realms. And I really love her story. It's when I read it, I think very much about mine. And, as my friend Christian De La Huerta said, she's on the hero's journey. I'm on the hero's journey. Julia's on the hero's journey. We're all on the hero's journey. So we've all gone through the mud. And of course, what comes out of the mud? The lotus.
Yeah. Do you want to tell the guest a little more about your story, Christine? And the birthing of that beautiful lotus?
I love how you're always poking at me like, come on, Christine, share your story. Okay. People always ask, have you always been a medium? And I'm like, now looking back, yes, I would see things around people, but I didn't know what it was. They would talk and I'd be like, I was like a walking lie detector, because their energy and their words did not match what they were saying. So it unfortunately transformed into me feeling like a black sheep. I hear that all the time with my clients. They don't fit in. There's something wrong with me. Why don't people like me? I always feel like I'm the wallflower. And why don't I fit in? Well, you're not meant to fit in. So that also manifested into addictions. I was homeless for a while. I had 2 attempts to die by suicide. I had anxiety and depression, and I tried everything: doctors, counselors, therapists, pills, you name it. I tried it until somebody said, your anxiety and depression is because you're not using your gifts. You're not living intuitively. You're not living in your soul's purpose. I was like, what? No, I need to know more. What is this about? So that's how it started. And I worked with an international medium who helped me develop my mediumship. And my mediumship turned into becoming a Reiki master and teacher, because I wanted to learn how to heal myself. Obviously, if I'm going to work with other people, I got to know how to take care of myself. And that was 4 years ago. Dark Night of the Soul. Here I am. I was baptized in 1999. I find that interesting, that date, 1999. I think of Prince. He was more awake than many people now know after he dies, right? They just thought he was crazy. But you're not. You're just waking up. That's what I always say to anybody. You're not crazy. You're just waking up. But I now anchor everything in God. And God has no religion, by the way. That's it. That's my story. And I don't know. You know what? I don't know if I've ever heard your story.
That is a phenomenally inspiring story. It's really interesting because mine has parallels with yours, and it's very different because I don't really relate to myself as having had gifts when I was a child. So mine was more like a sudden awakening as an adult rather than something that I've always kind of had within me. So I think it's really interesting the different ways it shows up for different people. And some people say that they've always had this, this ability since they were kids, and others, it just comes to them very suddenly. For me, it didn't even come to me very suddenly. Actually, it wasn't like I woke up overnight and I was different, like Eckhart Tolle and some of the other great leaders. But I did, as you said, I experienced the dark night of the soul, and I went, and I know it was the universe waking me up, basically, because it started right at the end of 2012 and beginning of 2013, and I'd been pretty much really happy until then, and all of a sudden I just found myself like crying at some point in every day, and I had no idea what was going on with me. It's like you say, so you feel like you're going a bit crazy and you don't know what's going on until, looking back, you're like, oh, I was waking up. But at the time I had no idea, and I was suffering from anxiety and I think a kind of mild depression, although I didn't actually go to the doctor, so I wasn't diagnosed. But I knew I didn't want to go to the doctor. I'd seen that not working particularly well in family members and didn't want to experience that. So I was again, I know the universe put them there to support me, but some healers in the next village over from mine, which is a 30-minute drive over a mountain, and they supported me through. And that was my first contact with chakra healing and energy healing. And it just opened up a whole new world for me. So my whole passion at first, it wasn't even that I was looking to expand my gifts. It was like I was looking to feel better. I was looking to feel at home in myself, though I didn't even realize that at the time. But I came to a feeling after that, because I started doing lots of online courses and things, developing and learning and doing self-healing journeys, and just really starting to explore who I was beyond the body and coming into contact with myself as a soul. And I really felt that that's another parallel I feel to you. I felt like at that time that any kind of mental blocks or illness that we have can be healed if we come into connection with that soul. And I feel that that's one of the main problems in this current day world, that we're not encouraged to be in connection with nature, which brings us back to our soul, or in connection with our soul, or in connection with the arts, which again are another really clear way of coming into connection with the soul, I think. And then as I continued on my own healing path, I knew that this had to be bigger than just for me. It's like I kind of had this whole experience just for my own benefit. Like I want to be able to share in ways that can support others. And it was as I moved in alignment with that and kept following my higher self guidance, that I then opened up to the channeling and sharing what I'm now sharing. And it's a blessed gift to have come this journey and to be still walking this journey, and to share in this way.
Love it. And when you talk about channeling, and I get this too, people are like, well, I can't do what you can do. What do you say to that?
I think everyone can do it. I think it's an innate human gift. I do think that perhaps, I don't really know, but I have a feeling that some people are more naturally inclined to being healers, and some are maybe more naturally inclined to being channelers. But in the end, it's all the same. You're channeling divine energy, whether you're channeling it for healing, or you're channeling it as words, or you're channeling it as channeled energy. I think it's all coming from the same place, and that we all have that innate ability, whether we decide to tap into it or not. I think that we do need to make some people, I guess, like Eckhart Tolle, it's kind of like it's given to them. But for most of us, we need to make a conscious choice, I think. And at the beginning, we don't even know that we're making that choice necessarily. It's more like we're looking for more happiness. We're looking for more joy. We're looking for more healing. But then as we keep on following down the path, we're making choices in every moment. So we're making that choice to keep exploring that and to opening to more of that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's, I hear, student of the universe always, but you have to have that curiosity and an open heart. Like, be open to everything and attached to nothing. Like, oh, it should be done this way. Should be, no, that's where you got to take the blinders off. And you have to just be curious and come from a childlike place of curiosity, and not just be a seeker. There's the difference. When you said you started on your journey and then you were doing all these courses and learning about yourself and integrating and the chakras and all that, now you're the finder, because the finder turns around and helps the seekers.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's what we're all here to do, to help each other, right?
Mm-hmm, absolutely. It looks like Linnea has joined us, and I know Linnea is going to be with us on Saturday. She's just saying, looking forward to tomorrow. Thank you for being here. And yes, Julia, you are looking beautiful today.
Thank you.
Every day.
As are you, Christine.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you for being here. I'm just, so excited. I don't know if anybody has any questions. I had some people ask me, is this free? Yes, it's free. It is free. And you don't have to be here live, although it would be nice if you could, because I don't know about you, but sometimes you'll miss a live. And then will you go back and watch it all the time?
I'm pretty good, because I live in this completely incompatible time zone where most of the things that are done are like my 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. So I make a note. I'm quite organized. I make a note. I want to go back and listen to this, and I put it on my weekly schedule, and then I check things off as I move through them. But I'm not sure that there are some things that go by the wayside, though, even when I do that. But I really like the experience of being there live. I think it gives a really immediate experience. It gives you the opportunity to ask questions if you want to. And as a practitioner too, it's really nice when there are people there that are live. Like, I think it really supports the sacred space that is being created. The more of us that do come together in that now moment. Absolutely. Even though obviously the activations go, beyond that to the people on replay as well. It's still really nice to create that sacred space together.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And I think it's really, really needed right now, because before we came on, I was talking about the last couple days, and we're not even in a full moon anymore or any type of eclipse energy or anything like that. There is a collective rage and an anger and a frustration that is brewing. Do you want to talk a little bit about that just quickly? And maybe somebody might hear something and go, yes. And that's why we need to be there tomorrow and Sunday.
Yeah, I haven't, as I was saying before, in Japan, people are generally speaking quite calm and focused on harmony. That's like one of the main principles of Japanese society. So I haven't noticed a lot of rage coming up. But even within the Japanese society, where there usually isn't much division because of that focus on harmony, I have had some conversations that are quite difficult, or come into a place, not exactly conflict, but heading towards conflict, because of all the things that are going on in the world at the moment, and the huge differences of feeling and opinion, basically, surrounding the vaccine. And I'm of the opinion that each individual needs to make their own choice.
Yes.
And so even if I don't make the same choice as someone else, I want to be able to respect and to honor them in that choice, and also in their sharing about that choice. But I have had people who are making a different choice to me, not opening up the space to listen to my choice, kind of like telling me it's the wrong choice. And
the canceling.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I noticed, I was actually really proud of myself, because I was like, oh, I'm noticing that I'm not being given a chance to speak. And even in one instance, I felt like I was being shamed for my choice. And so it was really cool to notice that, and to be like, oh, I don't need to engage with this, and to just try to hold that space of respect and honor for the other person, and understanding that this is someone, who hasn't been on a healing path, that they haven't done the healing work. So maybe they haven't come across the way of thinking that, it's important to hold space for other people and to listen to their opinions, even if you don't agree. So just trying to be in a really state of compassion for that, and not allowing myself to feel shamed or to, feel like I was being made wrong, but just holding that space of compassion and love for where everyone is at as well. So how have you been experiencing that?
Yeah, and I think that's really important what you said, is you're seeing what's going on, but you're not reacting to it. You're playing the observer, but you're also being the healer too. You're kind of sharing the love and trying to see if you can take it down a couple notches, which, is something that I try to do wherever I go, is, leave your little light traces, your trickles, your stardust, your whatever it is, a rose. I don't know. Like, you got to find something, because it's almost like, well, we all are coming from a place of fear, but we need to put our weapons down, or take our armor off, and bridge, and come from a place of curiosity to find out, where they're coming from and why. And you might not agree with them, but I've seen this, or I've heard this too. You do not hate them that's where they're coming from. And even if you want to say something, some people are not ready. They're not at that capacity to receive the message. So you have to love them from a distance, as hard as it can be. I understand, especially with family. Like my nephew, for example, I heard, like he had to isolate for a week because something happened at school. And then when he came back to school, some of the boys were asking him if he got the jab. And he's like, I didn't know what to say, Mom. And she says, well, you just say yes, because if he didn't, he would have been attacked. Now, where did these children learn that? That's the sad part. That's what breaks my heart. So we need to remember how we're talking, because it's not just affecting us, it affects everyone around us.
Right. I mean, really, these are the times for moving towards unity and respect and honor. Yeah, unity doesn't mean we're all doing the same thing, making the same choices. It means that we're respecting each individual's soul truth and their right to make their own choices, I think. And any of these divisive narratives, I think they're coming up to be healed, and that it's us as individuals who need to make that choice in that moment. Be conscious. No, I'm not going to go into that old story. I'm not going to go into that story of you and me, me versus you, me versus them. But, it is that it's that us, and we are all living through and experiencing, phenomenal times, whether you're thinking about the whole the COVID narrative, or just all the huge amounts of photonic light that are coming into the planet at this time and are causing things to come to the surface, and to remember to have so much love and compassion for everyone and wherever they're at with all that we are experiencing.
Absolutely. And someone's just saying, great talk. And Kirsten, thank you for being here. She's sending us some love, and we're sending you love back. Yeah, lots of love. And we'd love to see you tomorrow if you can make it, and Sunday as well. Please make sure you share this with your friends, and like and get the notifications, or subscribe on YouTube, wherever you like to follow us. So yeah, I'm so looking forward to tomorrow. I don't know if I'll get any sleep, but you know what? It doesn't matter. And I really appreciate you coming on and doing this preview, so it reaches more people, because if we can, reach one person and they share it with somebody else, it's like that ripple effect that goes out.
Yeah, and I just want to thank you and say how much I appreciate you and you putting together this beautiful summit, which I'm so looking forward to being a part of, both as one who is sharing and one who is receiving from the other speakers. So thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Guys, if you're on, you just happen to catch this and you're like, what's this about? I can send you the link as well. You have to be there at least on live or on the replay to get all the gifts and to win the grand prize at the end, which I'm not going to give the enter to win prize link yet. I'm going to wait until tomorrow. So what can I say? All right. Well, have an amazing evening. Take care, and sending you guys lots of love. And please remember, healing begins where the ego ends. Thanks, Julia.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.